All right, today's beer is from beautiful Ireland. This is another beer with a rich and storied history that was since bought out by a bigger company. This is Smithwick's Imported Premium Irish Ale, where some people pronounce it Smithwick's. Smithwick's, though, I believe is the correct pronunciation. I've always pronounced it that way. I was always told the W is silent, so I've always said Smithwick's and not Smithwick's, but a lot of people say Smithwick's. I don't know. Dirty Americans, probably. It is an Irish red ale. It comes into us at 4.5%, so a low ABV, sessionable kind of Irish red ale. 11.2 ounces. It is European, obviously. Ireland is part of Europe, so we have that distinction of less ounces by 0.8. It gets a 77 on Beer Advocate, which is okay, on the upper realm of okay. It gets a 43 on Rate Beer, which is, yeah. So another kind of middle-of-the-road rated beer. We have not done an Irish red ale yet. This is the first Irish red ale that I've ever reviewed. I thought I would at least have reviewed like Killian's by now, or one of the big ones. But no, this is the first one. It's a style that's a bit sweet, usually, with lightly hoppy tea-like flavor. So you know, Ireland, England, they love their tea over there. So maybe that's kind of where the style kind of came from. They say well-rounded and balanced with a pleasant toasted malt. So there you have it for the description. As far as the brewery goes, they've been brewing Smithwick's. The brewery's been around since 1710. So that's it's been a long, long time since they've been brewing. They started brewing Smithwick's, obviously. Was it 305 years? Wow. It was acquired by Guinness, actually, in 1965. So this isn't a recent acquisition. Of course, Guinness was bought by Diageo, and now they have just all these beers, I guess back in the late 90s. It's still brewed in Kilkenny, Ireland, and they still do tours in their brewery, the original brewery. Oldest brewery in Ireland, as a matter of fact, and tours still happen, and they still brew this beer there. It was first brewed in St. Francis Abbey Brewery. It's won 5 gold medals in the Monde Selection Beer Tasting Competition. So there you have it. Anything as far as notes on this bottle? It's a very kind of no-frills bottle. Just kind of has just the red and the picture of the, you know, it looks like a castle-y looking thing on the top of a castle. So let's pour it into this Guinness English pint glass. And obviously it's owned by Guinness, so why the heck not? Pour it into the English pint glass. And as we do, we see... how red is this beer? We see a red beer, believe it or not. And the head is really rising. Very, very dark red, almost brown caramel color. And the head is about 3 fingers of a khaki head. So a very healthy head on this beer. As far as the drink by date, I don't see it. This is another case where they don't put the drink by date on here. This is kind of a fresh beer, I think, that was in the mix of 6. I hadn't seen Smithwick's on the top shelf, and I think they usually put the newer beers on the top shelf, which is where I usually start packing the mix of 6. So let's get the aroma now of Smithwick's Imported Premium Irish Ale. Yeah, very caramely. I'm almost getting like a sawdust kind of smell to this. It just has a lot of just caramel, just complete malt heavy kind of beer, and a bit of a sweet kind of tinge to it. So so kind of a no frills aroma. Nice look to it, but the aroma is kind of a no frills thing. So let's get the taste now of Smithwick's Imported Premium Irish Ale. Yeah, you know, it tastes like in the front of the tongue that the malt is really going to be fulfilling, and you're really going to get that kind of just full mouthfeel out of it. However, when it goes to the back of the tongue, you're getting more of a light kind of taste to it, and I'm not sure if I like that from an Irish red ale. I know it's a light ABV beer, but I'm kind of just getting a lighter taste out of it. Yeah, it just seems like the sweetness could be upped a little more. I'm just getting a carbonation with almost no taste in the back. Up front, tastes like it's gonna taste, you know, better. And then in the back, you're just not really getting much of a taste, which is kind of surprising. I kind of label this as a bit of a boring kind of beer. Nice looking beer, but a beer that almost just doesn't, you don't even know you're drinking almost, if that makes any sense. So I'm going to go ahead and give Smithwick's Imported Premium Irish Ale, I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10. Good look to it. That's where it earns most of its points in my book. Aroma is kind of, not really there. And of course, the flavor doesn't really permeate as much as I would like to out of an Irish red ale. Hence the 5 out of 10. Thank you.